sitting on my doorstep, people's passing by. They're coming back from getting wrecked. Everybody's high. Saturday night, what a bitch, laying on the lawn. The morning comes to bring the switch after the buzz is gone.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Addictions, the podcast about addictions. I'm your host, David Wagner. Hope everybody is doing great today. Today on the show, we are going to be talking about strange and weird addictions. But before we get into that, I just want to say that addiction is really no laughing matter at all. It can be a crippling, terrible struggle. And for some people, it can be one of the most difficult experiences that they ever go through in their life. I really want you to keep that in mind, okay, while we go through this episode. We're going to be going through 10 really weird addictions, in my opinion, and some of these are just really out there. But the big thing that I wanted to make sure of was that these addictions, there have been more than one case reported. So, it can't be just some one-off kind of thing. That being said, I've searched high and low on the internet to bring you the top 10 weirdest addictions. Keep in mind that for this episode, these aren't typical addictions, okay? These are things that are somewhat rare. Some of them a little more rare than others. So with all that out of the way, let's get right to it. We're going to be starting at number 10 and working our way backwards. Anyways, the first one, number 10, is tanning. And this might not seem like really a big problem or an addiction, but it really is. It's estimated that almost 50% of beachgoers could be considered addicts. And a small percentage of that percentage, they really take it to the extreme, and they're tanning nearly every single day, both in sunlight and artificial UV tanning beds. These people are pretty easy to spot. Their skin complexion is just crazy. It's like this weird orangish, brownish kind of color. It's insane. Words fail me here. But beyond this strange orange-brown skin complexion, there are tons of major health risks associated with tanning, including, but not limited to, various forms of deadly skin cancer. Number 9 on the list is drinking urine. Drinking urine? Really? We're only on number 9 and we're already talking about drinking piss. What the hell? Okay, number 9, drinking urine. And this one even has a name. It's called urophagia. And from what I've read, it is not all that uncommon. And some people even believe that drinking their own urine carries certain health benefits, although this has never been shown to be true. And the Food and Drug Administration, as well as the World Health Organization, highly advise against it. And so would I. Don't drink your urine. Don't drink other people's urine. Don't do that. Number 8 is eating furniture. And I've actually heard of this one. I'm sure a lot of you guys have too. If you ever watched that show on TLC, it's called My Strange Addiction. They feature a lot of furniture eating people on that show. Various things like chairs, pillows, mattresses, all sorts of crap. There's this one lady that, from the United States, I think, who eats, on average, I believe she said, a square foot of a mattress every day. To this date, she's eaten 8 entire mattresses. This woman states that her addiction started at the age of 7 or 8 years old when she first started eating foam padding from various pieces of furniture. Delicious. Number 7. For this one, we're going to go in the opposite direction from number 8. Rather than eating furniture, these people that are addicted to this, they have a compulsive need to actually become the mattress or couch or end table. Yes, these are people who are addicted to pretending to be various types of furniture. And I looked online to find information about this, and it seems to affect a very, very minuscule amount of the population. Maybe more than 1 in a million, a little bit more than 1 in a million, maybe 2 in a million. And from my research, this addiction has no clinical name, but the addiction does indeed carry certain risks to one's health. I mean, standing in one position trying to pretend you're an end table for hours and hours on end in a sedentary manner, that can't be good for you physically. And these people have a compulsive need to do this. It's clearly an addiction. Moving on, we're going to be talking about number 6, sniffing or huffing gas. I've actually known people to do this, and it's actually a somewhat common addiction, especially in impoverished areas where people don't have a lot of money, and gas is somewhat cheap. It's up and down, but it's relatively cheap. But nonetheless, this is still a very odd addiction. It's very common in teens and young adults because it's cheap and it's an easy high. But the vast majority of these people fail to realize the dangers, the health dangers that huffing gas can cause. It can give you permanent brain damage. At number 5, we have trichotillomania. Yep, trichotillomania, also known as hair pulling out your hair. But it's important to note that this is actually a compulsive disorder. It can become a full-blown addiction, and those with this disorder exhibit all of the symptoms of addiction, including withdrawal. And just like other addictions, trichotillomania, it's often the result of early childhood trauma or, just abuse, that kind of stuff, a lot of stress. It becomes a coping mechanism, really. This disorder actually affects thousands and thousands of people. It's really not that uncommon. And the best course of treatment available for those with trichotillomania at the moment is simple talk therapy. At number 4 on the list of odd and weird addictions, we look at the addiction of coffee enemas. Coffee enemas, yeah. Not just that morning cup of joe, but that morning cup of joe in your bum. So, coffee enema addicts state that they prefer to do a coffee enema on a regular basis because it helps to cleanse your body, okay? And there is some science behind that. There are addicts that do this so much that they've reported doing it up to and over 100 times a month. I think enema of any kind, not just coffee, that many times a month would not be good for you. Definitely. Seems like it would be doing more harm than good at that point. Moving right along, at number 3, we have another very common addiction, chewing your fingernails. And I gotta say, I am totally in this boat. Many thousands upon thousands of humans are in the exact same situation, and science and research seem to point to stress and anxiety as probably the most major contributing factor into the chewing of your fingernails. In my own situation, I would say that they hit the nail right on the head. I have a lot of stress, and I've tried to quit a lot of times, and I can't. It's very difficult. I've even sprayed like cayenne pepper on my fingernails and stuff, but I like pepper, so that didn't really work out very well. Moving on to number 2, we look at workaholics. I'm not really talking about people who just need to work as much as possible so they can make ends meet. My hat is off to people like that. But I'm talking about the people who work so much that they work so much on purpose so that they can avoid other things like being at home and being with their families. This can become a compulsion and an addiction. And there's several factors that can cause that too. I mean, of course, stress and anxiety, depression, substance abuse can even play into that. But moving on to number 1, we will finally see what it is that can truly beat drinking urine for the number 1 weirdest addiction spot. Any guesses? No? Okay. It's eating poop, shit, feces, dookie, crap. Disgusting. But this is a real addiction that affects thousands and thousands of people. And actually, this addiction has no doubt caused many deaths over the years. Eating feces can give your body many different diseases, including diphtheria. And diphtheria has been known to wipe out entire colonies of people. It's a terrible disease. But with this addiction, the person has probably been traumatized early on in life in some way, some terrible way, and just developed this as some sort of strange coping mechanism. But it's definitely not healthy. Not healthy at all. So there we have it, guys. Pretty concise list of the more odd or strange addictions that are out there. A lot of these are addictions that show a lot of the same kind of symptoms as things like gambling and opioid addiction even. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and as always, I want to thank you all for listening very much. It really means a lot to me, it does. Be sure to tune in next week or the week after. I'm going to be doing an interview with a world-famous tattoo artist. His name's Freddie Negrete, and he's from Los Angeles, California. He's actually done tattoos for Dave Navarro, the singer, I believe, for the band Jane's Addiction. He's worked in Hollywood movies, and we're going to talk to him a little bit and see what he has to say. So that should be a great show, so don't miss that one. As always, thanks for listening, and be sure to follow us on Facebook so you can stay up to date with what's going on with the show. You can find us at facebook.com/addictionspodcast. And if you've missed any of the past episodes, you can find them on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts, but you can also go to www.addictionspodcast.wordpress.com. And I've got all kinds of stuff there, videos and all sorts of resources for people that are struggling with addiction. And if you really love the show, why don't you go over and check out our website at Patreon. It's patreon.com/addictions. That's patreon.com/addictions. Again, I want to thank you all for listening so very much. And remember, never quit quitting.
Sundays you prayed Uncle John, you poisoned yourself last night. Mary slapped your friend Tom, you got in a hell of a fight. Monday comes and it's back to work, the week seems so damn long. The weekend's past, you're still a jerk after the buzz is gone.